Well, a very good evening, everybody, and welcome to Delta T Racing Tuesday night. So it's time for Division 1. We're now at round 10, which is Saudi Arabia at the Jeddah Circuit. Street circuit, very, very quick. Technical sections, very fast sections. We will see what we get tonight. So I'm Nelboy, so welcome, everybody. Thank you for joining us tonight. Get the telemetry up so we are ready and see who the first person out of the pits is going to be. So nobody at the moment. Okay, so the weather during qualifying obviously looks dry at the moment. Can change. Be nice to see if we can get a weather forecast so we know what we're going to be dealing with. And here we are. It looks like people are now starting to go out. Okay, so first car out of the pits is Livingwall. Okay, thank Prince giving me an update on the weather there. Looks like there is a chance of rain in the race. So it could make it very, very interesting. It's DTR's first foray to the Jeddah Circuit for league racing. We did undertake the Nations Cup and had a race here which was pretty good if I remember rightly, so hopefully we'll get some decent racing today. Do obviously have the title battle going on, entering the last 5 races now, as I say, round 9 gone. Onto round number 10. Okay, so Livingwall is coming round to start. His first lap invalidated on that one, but it was only an out lap, so getting the feelers out. I expect the times to drop quite dramatically throughout the session. And looking at the time trials, I think we're going to be looking at a high 26 or round about bang on the 27 for pole position today, but we will see. Okay, so Livingwall getting out of the way there, so who is going to be first? Is it Michael or it's going to be Chalkers, I think? Yep, so Chalkers will be the first to set a time after overtaking Livingwall there. Obviously made a small mistake on sector 1. Chalkers. So very, very quick circuit this, but there are some technical sections, and if you mess them up it can ruin your lap time, this corner being one of them. But also you have to take into account the difference in corners that we have at Jeddah. Some are on the inside of the curving and some are on the outside of the curving, so you can actually cut a little bit further than you can on some other tracks just because of the design of the corners. So here we are, Chalkers coming on to the start-finish line to put his banker lap down. See what he puts in. Nothing. Was he on an out lap? I have been stupid following someone who's on an out lap. So, right. Tickard was the first to cross the line. So sets time 128.118. Must have invalidated there, so he'll be going off to do another run. We then have the Williams of Mamba starting a hot lap as well. So I think there's been some invalidations here, because I have seen people on hot laps. Prince Killer there coming in with a 127.7, so 0.4 faster than Tickard there. Bossmot's just getting a time on the board with a 32.3. And Michael crosses the line, setting the fastest lap at 127.1. So the times are tumbling. I think we are going to be looking at a high 26 for pole position. Shabby on to a hot lap. Invisible there, the 138.2. Right, who is going to be next? Is it Trench? It's going to be Damon. Damon coming into the pit. So EVG Damon, would like to give you a big welcome to DTR. It's your first race tonight in Division 1 in the Ferrari, along with EVG Trench. So we have the two EVGs in the Ferrari. So hopefully you get yourself a good result today. It's a pleasure to have you here at DTR. And we hope you enjoy yourself. Black Mamba there with a 127.889, putting his Williams up into 4th place. Who do we have next? Is it Shabby? Invisible is out. Where was Invisible out? Just round, yeah, just after the, well, it's like a spoon section. I suppose it was turns 13 into 14. Very easy to lose the back end there, which it looks unfortunately like Invisible has. So with a 138.2, I think with the times coming up on the board, that is going to put him lowly down. Kiko coming into the pits. We've got Shabby, he's coming into the pits as well. So it seems everybody is now coming in to put the second set of tyres on for a second run before putting their final times on the board. So let's jump on board with Wazza coming across the start-finish line. He is going to go onto his fast lap, onto his flying lap. So who else do we have? Is it Living Wall? Ooh, that was a bit quick in there. He might have got a warning for speeding in the pit lane there. Wesley, let's jump on board with Wesley for a moment. Just coming into the final sector here. Let's see what time Wesley can put down on the mediums. Puts himself up into 6th place with a 128.498. Bossmot's getting a small toe there, but didn't really help his time too much. We are then on board with Trench. So Trench is his 3rd race for DTR for Ferrari. And Savvy is a reserve. So we've got a few missing tonight, unfortunately due to other commitments. So missing tonight we have Bren, we have Broomer, Stein, Brent, Ibani and Yari unfortunately are missing this week. Okay, so who is out? Have we got Wazza is coming into the pits. Okay, so let's pick up, I think we've got a Ferrari, is it? Yep, it's Damon on an out lap. So he'll be looking to put his first time on the board after invalidating his first lap. Shabby is on a lap as well. Wesley coming into the pits. Shabby's on his out lap. So who do we have? Who's going to be the first one across the line? Okay, looks like we're going to have Bossmot's coming across the line to see what time he can put in. 31.567, but I think was that an invalidation because his time hasn't changed on the qualifying there. So Xavi next across the line, and then we are going to have Chalkers. We'll see what time Chalkers with a 27.3. Cracking lap by Chalkers. So at the moment we have McLaren 1-2. Right, where is Shabby? Shabby's slowing down, obviously, is he going to let somebody past, or is he invalidated anyway? Okay, so Trench coming into the pits. Michael just about to start his second flying lap of the session, try and improve on that 127.189, so it seems to be a very good lap so far. Michael getting out of the way of Prince. A quick look at tyres. Best laps. Wesley in 7th. Did actually set his on the medium, as did Xavi in 9th. So they can obviously go a little bit faster when they go on to the soft tyres. Let's watch Prince coming through this section here, so mighty fast. Coming across a bit of traffic, hopefully they won't get in the way for him. Not quite sure who that is in front. It's Wesley. Wesley won't hold him up, but it doesn't need to. He's got a good run off there. Obviously Wesley going on to his lap, and Prince pulls into the pits. So Michael aborts his lap as well. So who do we have improving? Man, but they're 127.889, just about to set his second flying lap of the session. Bossmot's now coming on to the start-finish line. We'll see if he can improve on his 131.698. He can. 131.4 moves him up to 11th place. Shabby aborted that. Hasn't actually set a lap time yet, Shabby. Carwin Rob there, I missed them. Put himself up in the 3rd place. That was a good lap for him there. Right, so who is coming on that last section? I think it's Wesley. Is he on a hot lap? He's half a second up on his time so far, but as I say, he's now on the soft, so it is to be expected. Moves himself up to 6th place. 127.871. That's 7/10 off of the current lead. So more, I'm not sure if he's got any issues there. He's coming in very, very slowly. Okay, so Bossmot has invalidated that lap. Cassell would be the next, a little bit further back. He has also invalidated. Carwin, who are we looking at? Wazza. Sorry for the jolting here. Wazza's invalidated. So we won't see any fast laps from any of those. Invisible's out, so the next will be Tickard, who has invalidated. Wesley invalidating there. So you can take it very wide, but that was a bit too wide. Let's ride on board with Trench for a while. It seems people are coming in to put a last set of softs on and go for a last run. Three minutes left in the session, 1:27 lap, so you need to get yourself out with a couple of minutes to go. Let's have a look at the chat, see who we've got tonight. We've got Enz as per normal. Welcome Enz, good to have you. Prince should be driving. Get off the chat. Chalkers the same, saying about he's got a new crash helmet, so we will have a look at that in a minute and see what his new crash helmet looks like. GTA Glitches is predicting Michael the win. And Prince is saying pole prediction 26.5, 26.6. So we'll see, it's a half a second improvement. I'm not sure we're going to get down that far actually. I can see a 26.7 if they nail it, but we'll see. There's McLaren and Michael going out. So we're chalkers. Let's have a quick look at his helmet then, just to see what it looks like. He's obviously very proud of it, having mentioned it on the stream. It is very colourful. So yeah, very nice. Okay, so chalkers, I'll keep an eye on him, but I also want to keep an eye on the two Ferraris and Shabby, who haven't set a lap time yet. Who will be first? I think Shabby will be the first. He is invalidated, so you've got one more shot here, Shabby. This is it, it's do or die on this lap. Otherwise you're starting towards the back of the grid. Right, let's jump back on with Chalkers then and see what he can do. Very, very close to the wall there. But that's where the time is. The closer to the wall you are, the quicker you are. So Chalkers 0.2 up at the moment is good enough for provisional pole position. Obviously with his teammates still to go. Who is right there in front of him? Is he going to give him a bit of a tow? He does indeed. That's well worked. Nice bit of a tow there. And now obviously it will be reversed and Michael will get the tow down the start-finish line to start his lap. So very, very well organised by the McLaren boys there. Hopefully myself and my teammate can replicate that tomorrow night for Mercedes. So Chalkers, provisional pole 127.096. Cracking lap by him. Ticking in fourth on a 27.4. We then have one of the Mercedes crossing the line. Bosmots doesn't improve, neither does Cassell. We then have the Ferrari of EVG Trench, who's invalidated, so will not set a time during this session. Shabby also is invalidated, will not set a time in this session. Not the end of the world though for Shabby. We've seen him many a time making it from the back of the grid to a decent result, normally a podium. And anything can happen here on street circuit. So Carwin Robb, sorry, I completely missed your lap there. 26.934, cracking lap by Carwin. I think this is only his second Grand Prix. I think he was unavailable last week. Mamba can't improve on his 27.8, so will remain in 7th at the moment. Wesley will be next across the line. He has invalidated as well. We then have Xavi, who is not going very quickly, and Michael just behind does not improve on his 27.1. So that's our grid. Carwin Robb taking a cracking pole position in the Haas, and I am so sorry that I completely missed that lap. But well done, Haas on pole. It's something that you don't see very often. But second and third, we've got the two McLarens of Chalkers and Michael. Obviously very strong there, heading the Constructors' Championship at the moment, and this is why. Chalker's leading the Drivers' Championship as well. Michael would be a lot closer if he'd have had a little bit of luck this year. So 4th place we have Tickered Prince, rounding out the top 5. Then in 6th Wesley, 7th Mamba, 8th Kiko, 9th Wazza. So a good lap by Wazza there, putting himself in 9th. And 10th I completely missed, but I will pick it up in just a minute. So here we are looking at the grid. As I say, Carwin Rob taking a excellent pole position for the Haas in 2nd and 3rd. We have the McLarens of Chalkers and Michael, 4th Tickered, 5th Prince Killer, 6th Wesley, 7th Mamba, 8th Kiko, 9th Wazza, 10th Living Wall, 11th Zavi, 12th Bossmots, 13th Cassell, 14th Invisible, 15th Shabby, 16th Trench and 17th EVG Damon. So 2 Ferraris at the back and Shabby in 15th. Be interesting to see how far he can move himself forward.
Greetings and welcome to Jeddah for what promises to be a sensational slice of world-class motorsport. We're off to the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix. So let's take a look at the topographical map of the Jeddah Street Circuit. As you can see, a number of challenging corners for the drivers to master here. We'll see just how much the teams have benefited from their time spent in practice this weekend. And like many street circuits, this track has the potential to punish drivers that get it wrong. Let's hope we avoid any safety cars today.
Well, welcome back everybody. The drivers are now selecting their strategy, ready to start on the warm-up lap. So whilst they are, we'll have a quick look at the driver standings. As I say, leading the title at the moment, we have Chalkers with 144 points in the McLaren. That's a 17-point gap to Shabby in 2nd, though very close at the top there. Obviously a good result today, you can spin it in either direction. Benny still in 3rd position, so Benny not raced for a couple of weeks, unavailable this week because of work, but 72 points, so 55 points behind 2nd place now. Looks increasingly difficult for him to mount a challenge now. Michael in 4th place in the McLaren on 70 points. Then we have Yari on 50. Mamba moving up into 6th place with 47 points. Bossmots and Brent on 43 points on 7th and 8th. In 9th, Prince Killer in the AlphaTauri on 40 points, and Wesley rounding out the top 10 in the Alfa Romeo. So Constructors is really again a 2-horse race between McLaren and Alfa Romeo. It seems Chalkers and Shabby have scored a lot of the points this year, but majority of that is because Michael and Wesley have been very, very unlucky within races. Hopefully they can get a good result in today. But yep, top there is by 48 points, and then we're looking at 51 points between Alfa Romeo and Red Bull there. But yeah, so Carwin Rob taking a fantastic pole position, as I'm sure it's only his 2nd race. Position check, just what I wanted. Right. So we are coming around the final corner now onto the start-finish line, where we will be taking our grid positions ready for the start of Division 1 Saudi Arabian Grand Prix. So we've had a couple of predictions already. Michael basically seems to be coming out as a fan favourite at the moment for the victory today. I wouldn't put it past him. Michael wasn't racing last week, had a steering wheel issue. I believe he has a new steering wheel now, so we'll see how he can get on. Also, a big shout out to Black Mamba in 7th place. He had a skiing incident last week and has quite a damaged hand, so doing well to actually turn up tonight. Okay, are we going to get a decent... Here we go. We'll drive on board with Chalker. So we are 5 red lights. And they're out and away we go for the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix. So it's a good start there by Carwin Rob. 2 McLarens in formation. A little bit of argy-bargy a bit further back, but it doesn't seem to be anything too major that has happened. So we'll jump back to the front. So Carwin Rob getting a good jump away from the lights and taking the lead. So we have only position changes in the top 11 at the moment. Is Prince up 1 and Ticker down 1. Apart from that, it seems to be as the grid was. Savvy and Damon here. That's going to be a warning for Damon there. The first one of the race, never good on the first lap, but quite common where you're fighting for position. Looking quite punchy there. Bossmott's making his way through and Invisible. So already Shabby up into 13th, but mightily impressive is Damon, who has moved himself up to 12th. Let's jump back to the front. Carwin has pitted. What did I miss, Carwin? What happened? Has he got damage? He has, yeah. Nose cone at the ready. Oh, that's unfortunate, Carwin. So I missed your pole lap and I missed your crash. Okay, apologies for that. Just had my phone going off. Okay, jumping back. So Chalker's taking the lead. Obviously, Carwin having an incident, dropping out 15 places now, was looking so good for him out front. I don't think he was put under pressure. I think it was just a genuine mistake. Again, so easy to do on this track. So coming up to complete lap 2, Chalker's in the lead, half a second ahead of his teammate in the second McLaren, which is Michael. Third place Prince worked his way up 2 places. Tickard also moved up. Well, no, he's back to where he was, but that's because of Carwin incident. Just having a look at the back here, Xavi and the 2 Ferraris. They seem to have changed positions there. EVG Damon there picking up a 3-second penalty, multiple warnings. So we did see him pick up at least 1 warning on the opening lap, and now coming to the end of lap 3. He's got his first penalty. He's not alone though. We have Wesley and Cassell all both have penalties as well. There's a nice aerial shot by Codemasters. It seems they can do certain things right. It certainly looks good. It's just unfortunate that the game doesn't work 100%, but hopefully they'll get it right in a few years' time. Okay, so Ticker doing well. He's got Wesley, Mamba and Kiko right behind him. Ticket looking for a move there, and Wesley and Ticket here going for, I say Wesley makes a move. Goes a bit wide there. He'll probably pick up a warning, but he's made up a place. Obviously we're looking at closing that 3-second gap down to Prince now. Having a quick look back as well, Shabby already up 7 places into 8th place. And he will be closing down on the back of Kiko as quick as anything, so 1.6 behind. We'll keep an eye to see how quick that closes down. But at the front, Michael and Chalkers have changed positions, whether this is tactical because of the DRS. We'll see, but Prince is behind them. He's certainly not. Chalkers there gets past, so yeah, it seems like they're giving each other a bit of a toe, but will Michael now look at holding up Prince, playing a bit of the team game there? And Prince going around the outside, just tapping the wall there. I hope he hasn't got any damage. It doesn't look like it, but Michael is into the pits. Again, I can't see any damage, but just because you can't see it doesn't mean it's not there. Prince closing up on Chalkers. Get the tyre detail up so we can see what is going on. So Livermore picking up a 3-second time penalty. I'll just have a look at Michael. Did he have damage or has he just come in? He's put a set of hards on, so he's going to look at taking them 20 laps to the end of the race. Quite an early stop on the end of lap 4. We have a yellow in sector 2. And Mamba and Kiko are both out. Oh, goodness me. That's got to be a safety car, surely. Michael and Carwin, be careful coming round here. Oh, Mamba. And we have a safety car. And luckily Mamba's car's been cleared away there. Kiko's still on the outside of the track. But this is good news for Carwin and for Michael, obviously closing up the gap. It's going to be a pain for Chalkers, who's actually going to pit. Prince is going to pit, so it'll be... Majority are coming in now. Shabby will keep going on the mediums, but I can see the soft runners coming in, perhaps going for the 1-stop. 5-second time penalty for invisible. Severe collision with Boss Mops there. I think that might have been coming into the pit lane. So Shabby takes the lead at the moment behind the safety car. Obviously yet to stop, 5-lap-old mediums, but has worked his way through from, I think he was 15th on the grid, so I did say to keep an eye on him. I think everybody knows what the talent Shabby is, but Chalkers this year has really taken the fight to Shabby, been very consistent, and I think that is the main difference this year. I mean, Chalkers has picked up already 1, 2, 3, 4 pole positions this year and 4 wins, so very consistent on there. He's apart from a couple of results in Belgium and Monaco, has been on the podium every time. Shabby as well, quite consistent, again majority of the time on the podium. Over the last couple of races hasn't gone quite according to plan for him. Okay, so lap 6 behind the safety car. We have Shabby currently leading, Chalkers in 2nd place, Bossmoss 3rd, in 4th place Prince, 5th Invisible, 6th Ticket, 7th Zavi, 8th Carwin, 9th Livermore. Rounding out the top 10 we have EVG Trench. Wesley in 11th, 12th is Wazza, 13th Michael, 14th Cassell and 15th EVG Damon. 2 retirements so far in that safety car causing incident between Black Mamba and Kiko. Not quite sure what happened there. I've heard something about dirty air being to blame. But yeah, very unfortunate for Mamba. Was doing well. And Kiko was as well. He was up there, so. But we are left with 15 now. 19 laps, including the one that we are on. So Chevy will obviously need to make a pit stop. Chalkers, I think he'll probably look at taking those mediums to the end if he can. Whether they will go, not 100% sure. So strategy is still a little bit sketchy around Saudi Arabia, just because of the lack of running that we've had on it. Looking at the tyre strategy that is suggested by the game, we'll be looking at starting on the softs, going on to mediums between sort of 10 and 12 laps, and then running those 13 to 15 laps to the end. The alternate obviously on softs going on to the hards around about sort of lap 9 onwards, and running them 13 to 16 laps to the end. But again, this is only a guide by Codemasters. We've seen people, certainly like Benny, I think it was Singapore a couple of years back, taking a set of mediums pretty much the whole race after an accident. So it is a possibility. So Chalker's trying to get as much heat into those tyres as he possibly can, the same as Shabby ahead of him. So important to get the heat in when you're braking down into turn 1 for the left-hander. If you don't get enough heat, you will go straight on. So Prince having a good race, up in 4th position. Bosmot's just ahead in 3rd, hasn't pitted yet. So really you look at Prince in a net 2nd position, obviously our net leader being Chalkers. And Tickard on a podium at the moment, would be currently in 6th, but a net 3rd. But it'd be interesting to see what the likes of Michael can do on those fresh tyres. Chevy is bunching the field up now. He becomes the safety car, and he has gone for it. Looks like a good jump there by Shabby. We have a couple of moves going on at the back. Carwin Rob already back up in 8th place. It looks like he's not happy just being there, and he's not. He's past Savvy. Can he make it round the outside? He does. So Carwin Rob back up in the 7th place. Wazza picking up one of the customary penalties there. They're down in 12th. And Michael is itching to get past, just missed an overtake at the front there. Prince Killer overtaking Bosmots to work his way up into 2nd place. But we have some mighty battles behind back here. Wazza just got Cassell behind him. So let's jump back to the front. There's a cracking overhead camera. I do like that one. So Shabby leading the way. 1/4 of a second less than that now, ahead of Chalkers. Invisible and Tickard changing places there, so I think Invisible might have had a moment. Carwin Rob up into 6th place, so certainly it's back on for him. But here we go. Chalkers is tucking into the slipstream behind Shabby. Obviously no DRS for 2 laps after the safety car, so Shabby does at least have that. I'm sure he'll be using his ERS strategically just to try and pull himself as far as he can ahead of Chalkers, just so that the draft isn't going to be quite as productive for him. Tickett picking up a penalty there. The penalties could well come into it, certainly for the outside podium chance. I mean, currently the top 4 are clean, but you got to look at the likes of Shabby and Boswick still have to pick. Colin Robb on 6 lap old mediums. I'm not sure if he'll be able to take that to the end. Field is so incredibly close at the moment. It seems the front 2 have run away ever so slightly, and then positions 3 and 4 have pretty much done the same, and then from 5th right the way down to 15th is nose to tail. I mean, obviously just 1 or 2 laps after the safety car, but it'll be interesting. So here we are, Chalkers, will he go for the move? Still no DRS. I think DRS will be active on the next lap, or on this lap should I say, so I will expect to see Chalkers going for a move on the start finish line next time, as long as he can get decent drive out of the last turn. Which I think is officially turned 27, so it's a 27 corner track. A lot of them are bends rather than corners, but they are class. But yeah, 27 laps. We have a yellow in sector 2. Not sure who that is. I think it might have been Xavi, looking at the gap that's slightly opened up between him and Trench. Here we are onto the start finish line. Chalkers will have DRS this time. He will look at going for the move. DRS open. Chalkers does make the move, but Shabby's not giving it up. So Livermore and Michael making his way up into 8th place. Stick back to the front here. Damon and Xavi exchanging positions in 11th and 12th. I'm just interested to have a look just to see if Chalkers can pull away. Obviously won't have the DRS this time around. But can Shabby keep close enough over this last half a lap to get a decent run onto the start finish line? It's looking increasingly unlikely. He's dropping back a little bit, but then picks it up again within half a second. It's the fastest middle section of the race by Shabby there. And Shabby is closing on. Is he going for the move around the outside? He is. Now, is that before the DRS detection zone? Was that strategic by Chalkers? I think it must have been, because Chalkers now puts on the DRS and retakes the lead. Carwin past Tickett up into 4th place, so it's a cracking recovery drive by Carwin, as I'm not quite sure what happened to him on the first lap. I could only assume he clipped the wall, picking up a bit of front wing damage, so pitting immediately. And now working his way right the way back up into 4th place. I believe he went onto the hards and then changed on to the medium, so we'll be looking at taking those to the end of the race. Back to the front, does look like Chalkers has broken a bit of a gap on Shabby, but this is where Shabby closed it in last lap. He was about the same away again, and then by the time we got down to turn 27, he was right behind Chalkers. There we go again. He's literally, yep, he's down to 0.2 of a second. Will keeps himself behind this time, so we'll have the DRS. So we'll see if Shabby is close enough to be able to make a move on Chalkers. So he's closing. Chalkers goes very defensive. Oh, so nice. Gave each other a lot of room there, but they just seem to have a little coming together. Coming out of that turn, thankfully nobody had any interview over it. But all of this is allowing Prince to pull the gap in. So 1.2 seconds now. It was, I think, 1.7 a couple of laps ago. So he's closing in half a second because of the front two battling. Currently sitting in, as I say, a net second place, so good drive by Prince. Still a long way to go though. Another 13 laps invisible there, putting a fastest lap of the race in. So having a rather lonely race at the back there is invisible. Certainly not been his day. I'll give him a little bit of screen time considering he's just put in a fastest lap of the race, obviously on the softs, everybody else on the mediums. We're back to the front. Prince is closing in, hand over fist now, 0.8, 0.7 behind. So he's closing half a second on this lap. And we now have a three-way train for the lead. Tickett and Carwin there. It looks like Tickett's not giving up on that position. But Carwin does have the DRS. They'll both be on ERS as much as they possibly can. And Carwin keeps the position, so fourth place still for Carwin. Meanwhile, let's go back to the front three here. Wesley and Damon having a bit of a fight at the back there with Livermore in the second Williams. Damon does seem to be just nudging Wesley a little bit there. Careful he doesn't end up with any wing damage here, but he goes to the move up the inside. I think Wesley's not going to fight that too much, but he goes for the cutback on the inside. It's a good move by Wesley, but doesn't get the exit. So yep, Damon past Wesley up into 9th. Still fighting going on behind between Wesley and Livermore. Not too far behind is Cassell in the second Mercedes. Tickett and Michael are having a nice little battle now. Obviously Michael looking at getting past and moving his way. So both with DRS open. So it's going to be a battle of ERS and then track position. Michael does make the move. So Michael moves his way back up into Xavi. What's happened to Xavi? Bosmot's coming into the pits. Those set softs for the last 12 laps. So the front three separated by not a lot at the moment. And then just behind we have another battle going on between Carwin, Michael, Tickett and Trench. Trench working his way up to 7th from the back of the grid. So a good race by him. Invisible setting another fastest lap of the race on those softs. Expect to see Bosmots perhaps pumping in some times now as well as he's gone on to the softs. Prince just losing a bit of time off the back there. It could have just been a small mistake, just enough to lose you half a second. and Shabby up front has made the move on Chalkers. Did Chalkers tap the wall there? Doesn't seem to have any damage, but Prince did get past him quite easily there, but I think that was just mainly down to DRS. Chalkers not getting the DRS, Shabby and Prince both getting it, and it does make such a difference down that start finish line. So Shabby retakes the lead on 15 lap old mediums. And we still have this three-way battle going on between Wesley, Damon and Livingwall. Wesley getting forced out a bit wide there. Livingwall nearly took the inside. Livingwall looked like he was going to go for a move there. He did the sensible thing, just backed out. There's plenty more race to go. Oh, this is so close. Wesley picking up a 3-second time penalty, and Damon is round. Not the place you want to spin. Not that you want to spin anywhere, in fairness, but well recovered. So it puts pay to Damon's charge, as he was having a good battle there. Chalkers coming into the pits. I think he must have Shabby pitting his. Well, Shabby's doing his one stop. I think Chalkers must have had damage. Yes, yeah. So our two title favourites at the moment have just come into the pits. Looks like Shabby's got back out in 6th position, a reasonable position. I'm not quite sure how far he is behind the leader. He is 17 seconds. With 16, 17, 18 laps to go. No, 8 laps to go. It'll be a tall order, but as I say, I wouldn't put it past. Shabby. Right, so at the front we have Prince now with nearly a 7.5 second lead over Michael. So if he can just keep himself on the straight and narrow, he could be looking at what I believe would be his first win for Delta T Racing. So Prince is a very good driver, we know from various different leagues. Taking a bit of time to bed in at DTR. I think he's not had much luck, but he's certainly not lost the speed. And it would be nice to see him on the top step of the podium, but a long way to go yet. Michael 7 seconds behind. Carwin is closing him down on the start finish line. So they've had a nice little battle for about the last 4 or 5 laps, and Ticket as well, still not. Yeah, Ticket, sorry, still not giving up. Shabby there moving up a position to the pit stop, so he's into 5th place. So I believe he started 15th, so was it 15th? Yep, so he's up 10 places. Now a quick look at penalties. Oh my goodness, a lot of penalties there. Carwin with 9 seconds. That's going to hurt him come the end of the race. Certainly going to throw away any chance of a podium for him. Ticker with 3 seconds. Shabby is clean of penalty. Chalkers there making a move past Livingwall and up into 6th place. So he will now go looking for Shabby. Shabby's 5 seconds up the road. I think that must have been the time for the wing change. But yeah, Livingwall with 6 seconds worth of penalties. Cassell 11 seconds of penalties. Trench 3, Xavi 3, Wazza 9 seconds, Wesley 6, Damon 6, and Invisible 3 seconds. So we only have 2, 4, 5 drivers that haven't picked up penalties at the moment. I'd say still 7 laps to go. Carwin into the pits again. So Shabby up into 4th place. So a 5-second gap between him and Tickard. But obviously only a 2-second gap if you're looking at it because of the 3-second penalty that Tickard has. So Shabby just about a 1.5 seconds now off of a podium. And with Chalkers a place behind him, that would close down that 17-point gap at the top of the Drivers' Championship. So McLaren's still looking good in the Constructors though, with 2nd and 5th currently. So they will extend their lead if it stays like this on Alfa Romeo. Obviously with Shabby in 4th, Wesley having another one of those races for him down in 11th. The Carwin I would expect to be rocking it down on those fresh softs for the last few races. Let's get the tyres up right. So Carwin is past and stretching his legs now. So half a second gap already on Bosmont. So he closed it down slightly there because of the DRS, but Carwin now nearly a second clear as they're coming down to the final corner. Chalkers there picking up the fastest lap with a 1:29.061. So he is closing in Shabby already 2.7. So he's already on the podium. He already closed that down at 2 seconds. Okay, let's get back to the front. So Michael 5.6 seconds behind Prince Killer. 6 laps to go. Ticker currently in 3rd. Michael picking up a penalty. Colin Rob picking up another penalty as well. So we have some quite big penalties to be applied on this, but that could well have thrown away the chance of 2nd place for Michael. So Shabby now less than a second behind Tickard. Not sure if he was close enough to get DRS on this lap. We will soon find out, but I don't think it is going to be long before Shabby flies his way past Tickard up into the podium position by rights. And then I'd expect him to set off after Michael, whether he can catch him or not. 5 laps including the lap that we're on. Will he go for a move up the inside? He does indeed. I think Tickard knows that he's got the faster driver on the faster tyres behind him. He didn't fight that one too much. Wazza into the pits. So front wing damage. Colin Rob with another 3-second time penalty there. He's $15 seconds worth of penalties now for Carwin. That's quite horrendous. That's going to drop him a couple of places, but certainly not going to be in the points now. So Shabby is not really pulling away from Tickard. Obviously we had the DRS there, but I think Tickard's got very good pace. It's a D2 driver reserving tonight in D1. He was unsure whether he wanted to drive. I think he was a bit worried with the pace of some of the drivers in D1, but I think he's proved himself that he is more than capable of fighting them and getting himself a good result as well. And so if it wasn't for that penalty, he would certainly be fighting for a podium. But saying that, Shabby now stretching his legs 3.5 seconds behind Michael. I think Michael has a 3-second penalty as well, so we've only got half a second that Shabby would need to close out to put himself into second place. You can see the gap between him and Michael in front just on that overhead, so he is closing it down 3.8 seconds. Again, we'll have a quick look at the penalties because I didn't pick up. Yeah, Michael's got 3 seconds. So at the moment the gap between Michael and Shabby is 7/10, so not much in it at all. So Tickett now looks like he has been broken by Shabby. Of course, he's stuck with him for a lap. He kept himself in the slipstream and with the DRS, but I think once you get that 1 second out, it's very difficult to close in unless you are the quicker car. But behind Tickett we have Chalkers closing in as well, 1.8 seconds behind fourth place. Well, he is already in fourth place anyway because Tickett has that penalty. Shabby now within 3 seconds of Michael, so that will put him up into second place. Are we starting to see the fight back from Shabby? So with 5 rounds to go, including today, so 4 after today. 17-point gap, he will make some headway into that today. So Shabby had a PlayStation failure, so we lost him for a race. And I also had a couple of busy weeks, so he's not had much time to practice. So if you can still jump on and go this quickly when you've not had much time to practice, I think it just goes to show what kind of driver you are. Living Wall having a bit of a struggle on either side there, and we are round. Looks like 3 into 1 does not go there. I'm not sure if Living Wall picked up any damage there. No, he keeps going. But yeah, Trench and Carwin, there was one to the left, one to the right, just not enough room. Not enough room. So lap 24, penultimate lap. Prince with a 3-second gap on Michael. Really, he's looking at a 4.9 second gap on Shabby. Michael going to drop out of that second place. Chalkers is past Tickett again. I missed that because I think I was looking at the car win. So Chalkers now just 1 place behind his, his title rival, basically, because it is really going to go down to these two. Michael is going to move himself up into 3rd place in the championship today. If he finishes in 3rd or 4th, obviously we'll be looking at overtaking Ibani to go into 3rd place in the championship. So we are on to the final lap. Tickett and Chalkers still. Tickett not giving up on this at all. He doesn't care that Chalkers is leading the championship. If he can get past him, he will do. I'll keep an eye on that one. A bit further down, Bosmots and Living Wall. Looks like Living Wall tyres are going off now. 18 lap old hards. Chalkers picking up a 3-second time penalty. That is going to hurt. And now Tickett back past. So they are now racing for position. Yep, both with 3-second penalties. So they are racing for position. But let's jump back to Prince. Not giving him an awful lot of screen time in the last sort of 10 laps or so, because he's just calmly doing what he needs to do. keeping it on the black stuff, not hitting the walls. So he's lost a bit of his lead, but it doesn't matter. It's going to bring it home for the win. So here we are entering the last corner. And coming onto the start-finish line, Prince is going to cross the line for a fantastic victory. Well done, Prince. You're first at DTR. Congratulations. Michael will cross the line second, but will lose out to Shabby. Shabby moving up to second from 15th. A cracking drive again by Shabby. Closing up the points on Chalkers in the title. So third place does indeed stay with Michael. Fourth place to Tickard. Chalkers taking fifth. Trench coming home in sixth, and Carwin in seventh. No, he's going to drop because of the penalties. Bosmot's in seventh. Carwin in eighth. Ninth is Wesley picking up 2 points for the Alfa Romeo. 10th, Livingwall in the Williams picking up a point. Then outside of the top 10 we have EVG Damon in the Ferrari, Cassell in the Mercedes. Invisible coming up to cross the line any minute now. I'd say just ahead of Wazza. Wazza coming in with a 14th place finish. So a quick look at penalties. 15 seconds for Wazza there. Invisible picking up a 5-second unserved penalty there. And last across the line is going to be Xavi in the Alpine. And there we go. That is the end of the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix. Season 2, Division 1. Some great racing there, to be honest with you. It was nose to tail at points. So great comeback drive from Shabby from not being able to set a lap time or in qualifying to bring himself through to second. And Prince, absolutely excellent drive. So it was a bit fortuitous with some of the other goings on, but you've got to be in a position to take it. So well done to Prince. So our podium is Prince in the AlphaTauri, Shabby in the Alfa Romeo, and third place goes to Michael in the McLaren. And there we go, there's confirmation. A lot of penalties there, but Ticker picking up fourth in the Aston Martin, keeping himself ahead of Chalkers, so cracking by him there. Chalkers pick out fifth. EVG Trench in sixth position. Seventh, Bosmots in the Mercedes. Eighth, Carwin in the Haas. It's quite good considering the 15 seconds worth of penalties that he had as well. If he took that off, 21 seconds, could have put himself in about sixth position. Wesley in ninth, picking up 2 points for the Alfa Romeo, and Livingwall rounding out the top 10 for Williams. Then in 11th we have Damon, 12th Cassell, 13th Invisible, 14th Wazza, 15th Xavi, and the two non-finishers was Black Mamba and Kiko. So all in all, I mean, 17 runners, we had 15 finishers. That's pretty impressive, to be honest with you. I was expecting a few more than that, but there we go. So Prince, congratulations on your first victory for DTR. Wesley there picking up the fastest lap as well. So in ninth place, 2 points plus an extra one for the fastest lap. So that is it for the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix Division 1. It's been a fantastic race. I've really enjoyed that, to be honest with you. Some good racing. I hope that the rest of the divisions can live up to that. If you look at the screen, obviously now we have just finishing on the other YouTube channel is Division 5 tonight. So once you're finished here, if you feel like some more, please tune in and listen to our good friend Bogorovsky doing the commentary. Tomorrow night, Wednesday, 8 o'clock, we have Division 2 and Division 4. And Thursday, we have Division 3 and Division 6. And do not forget that next Monday, we have the F2 League. So anybody that's signed up for that, please set your attendance. It would be good to have a full grid on that one. There are also esports events that are going to be announced shortly. And I wish our esports team the best of luck in that. So please tune in. Watch the rest of the races, subscribe to the channel. Thank you for watching. I hope you've enjoyed it. I've been Nelboy, and I will see you next week.